Hey you guys, it's Holland. What's good and welcome back to my channel. So, in today's video, I will be doing a comeback review for the first quarter of 2021 for the months of January, February, and March. Disclaimer, everything I say in this video is completely based on my personal and my general opinion. Also, if I didn't include a certain group or soloist in this video, it either means that I'm not a fan of that artist or I didn't really have many thoughts on the specific comeback. I will also leave timestamps for all the comebacks featured in this video, so that if you are only interested in what I have to say for certain comebacks, you can skip to certain parts of the video. But before we get into it, I recently uploaded an astrology birth chart reading for NCT's member Baekhyun, a tarot card reading about IZ*ONE's disbandment, and a tarot card reading over the recent bullying scandals. So if those videos interest you, click the iCards at the upper right hand corner of the screen to access them. Now let's get into the video. First is Baekhyun's Japanese comeback with Get You Alone. This comeback was a very good way to start off the year for me. I normally don't like these kinds of songs with groovy choruses, but I feel like his vocal tone really fits the instrumental. I liked how goofy the music video was compared to the traditional K-pop MV with the glamour shots and the shots of the choreography. My favorite B-side is Drown. Next was i-dle's comeback with hwaa. Like most people were saying when it came out, I feel this comeback was very reminiscent of their previous comeback with Han, but this didn't really bother me because I actually really like Han. My only problem with this song is that I feel that the chorus is very hollow compared to the verses, and it needed a little bit more of a push to take it to that next level. I also think that So Young needs to learn that not every song needs a rap, and this song is one of them. My favorite aspect of this comeback was the music video. I loved the saturated colors, the makeup, outfits, and set design. Also, I hate to bring this up LMAO, but I in the past found it funny that Cube Entertainment felt the need to constantly give them concepts that featured so much cultural appropriation when, in reality, there's already an abundance of different cultures in the group with some members coming from China, Korea, and Thailand. My favorite B-side is Dahlia. You know nobody can deny, we rushing, feeling high endorphin, yeah. Next is Victon's comeback with What I Said. At first listen I didn't really like this comeback because I mainly Saint and Victon in the first place for their more vocal-based songs like Howling and Nostalgic Night. So, I obviously wasn't prepared for them to release such a hip-hop song like What I Said, but after a few listens the song did grow on me a bit. I did like the references to Latin music with the horns in the chorus. However, I still don't really like Hansi's raps very much. Overall, the song isn't bad, but it also doesn't surpass my favorite songs of theirs. I like how the choreography for the song was both intricate and effortless looking as well as the styling for certain members. The album was a bit of a disappointment for me with me not liking a single B-side. Next was B6's comeback with Stay Young. This song isn't really my cup of tea compared to their last title tracks, and, to be honest, I feel like their music quality has gone downhill since Blind for Love with Salute being the only exception. However, I only have been listening to this song simply for the chorus and its beautiful melody. I also think that ever since Youngmin left, they've been relying a lot on their backup dancers in their choreographies. I understand that it's hard for choreographers to make a choreography look good with only 4 members, but I still would appreciate some more creativity. And though I didn't like any of the new B-sides on the album, I thought the remixes for Blind for Love and Surreal were very pretty. Next was Gravity's comeback with My Turn. At first listen, I just passed this song off as another basic 4th generation boy group song, however since I really liked the choreography for the song, I kept watching the live stages and therefore listening to the song more and more, and it has grown on me a bit because of it. However, I still feel like the majority of those rap verses weren't necessary and were very lackluster. My favorite part of the song is the vocals in the pre-chorus and bridge. The music video's budget looked decently high, and I liked the streetwear outfits on them. My favorite B-side is Bad Habits. Next was Hyuna's comeback with I'm Not Cool. This song is extremely polarizing, and I feel like you'd either love this song or hate it. I personally kind of like it, mainly because it suits Hyuna's brand, and I think if any other idol or group was to come out with this song, it really wouldn't work. Same thing with the outfits that she wore in the music video, like I still don't know how the hell she pulled the majority of those clothes off. The choreography was decent, especially because the majority of her past choreographies have never been this intense or fast-paced, and I liked the B-side that featured her mans. Next was Kim Wooseok's comeback with Sugar. I really liked the concept and styling of the music video, Wooseok's stage presence, and how cute it was, but that was about it lol. I didn't like the song at all and felt that its structure was very messy, choppy, and all over the place, which is very disappointing for me to say because I was very hyped for this comeback when the teasers first came out. The B-sides on the EP also did not live up to the last one, with Red Moon with me not liking a single one. In conclusion, I don't think Wooseok himself is to blame for why this comeback was not that good. I'd mainly blame the producers for giving him such bad songs this time around.
Breaking down, I see breaking down.
Next was the boyz' comeback with Breaking Dawn. I have been really enjoying this group's last few comebacks, and this comeback officially marks me becoming a new fan of theirs. I like how now in K-pop more groups are willing to step out of the mold of having a super intense and loud chorus. The rappers in this song had some very good verses, but I wish the vocalists were able to receive more lines. I really liked the music video and the outfits looked good on them. The choreography was simple yet intricate, and the B-sides were solid. Next was Chungha's comeback with Bicycle. This song is nothing short of a cultural reset in my eyes. Chungha really put her all into this comeback and was serving stage presence galore. The music video was spectacular with all of the looks that she served, the step dance break, the scene of her levitating in the air, it was all amazing to watch. However, the song itself was not my favorite. I didn't like the overabundance of English lyrics, especially with the rap segment, as it is a common pet peeve of mine when it comes to K-pop, and I don't think that Chungha's voice really suits this kind of hard-hitting hip-hop song. Overall, is it my favorite song that Chungha has released? No. Is it still iconic? Yes. When it comes to the album, even though there are like 20 tracks total, most of them were skips for me. My favorite B-sides besides the pre-releases are Bother Me and All Night Long. Next was NCT 127's Japanese comeback with Gimme Gimme. I feel like this song had potential, but the chorus sounded very messy with the instrumental overshadowing their voices. The music video and outfits didn't look as good as they normally do, but then again it was just a Japanese comeback, so I can't get too mad at it. My favorite B-side is Lipstick, and I even feel like it would have been a better replacement as the title track. Next was Monsta X's I Am Solo with Goddamn. I like the vibe of the song, and I think that the song really suited his voice. However, the melody of the song is very repetitive and made me lose interest in it by the second chorus. The other songs on the mixtape didn't really impress much either, mainly because hip-hop is not my go-to or favorite genre of music to listen to. Next was SHINee's comeback with Don't Call Me. I feel like this song strayed away from the traditional sound that SHINee is known for in my opinion and resembles something that NCT would release, but I think it still works for them. My favorite part are the vocal harmonies at the end of the chorus, and my least favorite part are the talk rapping that they do throughout the song. With them being another 4-member group, the choreography didn't end up looking the best, and a good portion of the styling looked questionable to say the least. Next was Sunmi's comeback with Tail. I have been addicted to this comeback for the past several weeks and cannot stop playing it on my Spotify. Even though the song is very chill and relaxing, it still is very catchy at the same time, and I find myself constantly humming its melody throughout the day. The choreography was very simplistic yet intricate and creative, especially that part during the bridge. I also loved all of the looks that she served throughout the entire music video, such as the ponytail look, the wet black hair with the leotard, and the wavy gray wig.
Don't wanna talk, don't wanna fight, don't wanna play, I can't get over you. Just wanna watch it take a man, 스쳐진 나가 trouble.
Next was Wonho's comeback with Lose. This song was kind of a letdown compared to his debut with Open Mind, mainly because I normally am not a fan of house EDM instrumentals. And even though Open Mind also has some influence from the house genre as well, it's not as apparent and obvious compared to Lose. I also liked how he has kept up with same blue color palette from his last music video with Open Mind, but at the same time it still looked like its own separate entity from Open Mind. This album sadly was a skip for me, as most of the songs were just not my cup of tea. Next was Ateez's comeback with I'm the One. This song is a perfect example of using auto-tune as a stylistic choice and to the song's advantage. I say this because I feel like a lot of producers will add auto-tune on a song when it really doesn't add much to it. And even though most people called it generic, I wish Ateez would go down the path of producing more vocal-based songs like Inception, or at least produce more chill hip-hop songs that aren't so loud and in your face all the time. I really admired the styling and I think this is probably the best they ever looked, especially those red outfits. Once again, Ateez did not disappoint me with their choreography and stage presence, with my favorite part obviously being that chorus. My favorite B-side is Celebrate. Next was Wayv's comeback with Kickback. As per usual, Wayv never let me down. In fact, this comeback was probably my favorite comeback of this first quarter. I really liked Yang Yang's verses in the song as well as Ten and Xiaojun's vocals. At first, the chorus was not very appealing to me, but the harmonized vocals in its second half did help to save it. Even though the styling in the music video did look a bit mismatched, I feel like they were still able to pull it off. My favorite B-sides are All for Love and Good Time.
Everything I need is on the, everything I need is on the ground.
Next was Rosé's solo with On the Ground. To be blunt, I feel like the song itself was pretty mediocre. I'm just really tired of Teddy constantly giving Blackpink these same songs with empty EDM choruses. The only thing nice I can say about the song was that I thought Rosé sounded nice, and that's about it. The music video, in my opinion, was very plain and boring, but, at the same time, I don't know if they were just going for a more simplistic vibe. The most impressive factor about the song to me was definitely the choreography. It looked very well thought out, and you can tell that a lot of creativity was put into it. Now if only Blackpink's group choreography could look this good, lol. Next was Woodz's comeback with Feel Like. Though I prefer this song a lot better than Love Me Harder and Bump Bump, I still ended up getting bored of the song quickly, but I understand why they chose to make it the title track. However, sonically speaking, I think that Rebound is a much better song, and think it also had the potential to be the title track if it was a bit longer. I like that he went for a shorter haircut for this comeback as well as the yellow outfit he wore in the guitar scene of the music video.
You're my only bambi,
Last was Baekhyun's comeback with Bambi. I feel like this was a letdown from his last Korean releases, and I think Bambi is just a very underwhelming song overall. I just wish that he came out with something stronger, since this was supposed to be his last release before he enlists for the military. Like, even though Candy wasn't really my taste, it still had life to it, and I can acknowledge that it is an enjoyable song to the average person. To be honest, this entire album felt very rushed to me, with none of the B-sides really standing out to me compared to his last release, especially with Get You Alone literally being released 2 months ago. The only thing that kept my attention for this comeback was the choreography and the interesting shots on the train in the music video. I also wish baekhyun a successful enlistment. Okay you guys, this is the end of the video. Thanks for watching. If you wish to purchase an astrology or tarot card reading from me, click the link in the description below. If you wish to DM me a private question that you have about one of my videos, here is my Twitter. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to comment, like, and subscribe. And remember to stay snatched.